Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR today, Tuesday morning, Movember 2nd, 2021. The man they call Meathead and Linda K. I know you're rested now, Linda. I know you've got your wrestling all caught up for the week. I know we're still living high on the Packers, who are going to play again this Sunday against last night's Kansas City Chiefs. Linda, how you doing this morning?
I'm feeling chipper.
Chipper? Okay. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks chipper?
Exactly. Chipper Jones. No, I don't know.
You know what Chipper's real name was? It was Larry.
Oh.
Didn't know if you knew that.
No.
I had his rookie baseball card. That was worth about it was in an uncut sheet. Baseball card nerds, please listen up. The rest of you, give me 30 seconds. I had an uncut sheet of baseball cards from way back in the 90s, and in this uncut sheet was a Larry Jones, Chipper Jones rookie card. Ended up selling the whole roll for $100.
Hey.
Yeah,
that was bad at all.
That's before the baseball card market took a dump, and now nothing is worth anything. So.
Oh, I partook in those. That word. I partook in those days, so I got you. I know what you mean. I remember the value.
Hey, what are you going to partake in wearing when you're showing up in Merrill this weekend?
Oh, I will be sporting some hot, sexy, and comfortable collar and elbow. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com. As always, check out the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashions. And to save 10% off your order, use promo code LindaK. That's LINDAKAY. Save that little bit of cash. And, I've got a few days to figure out what exactly of collar and elbow I will be sporting this Friday night in Merrill. Thank you for the reminder there. This Friday night, GLCW, we've got the return of Rhino. And again, we just got that return of Rhino at Bound for Glory, but we've got another return of Rhino here in Merrill, Wisconsin this Friday night. BlizzardBrawl.com to secure those tickets. They are going fast.
The return of the man beast. Does he yell gore when he hits
gore.
it? I mean, yeah, does he yell gore? Gore. I remember when he made his main roster on Raw debut. Do you remember that? Where he was the side friend of Edge and Christian. Dude, get the Rhino. Those are the days, and they'd use him. The Rhino would just gore through people. So, man, those were the days. I used to love watching that, especially when Rhino actually. Remember at the end of the ECW run, Rhino was the ECW champion. So,
deservedly so.
Yes. All right. One real quick bit of WWE news, but first I want to get to GLCW news. Linda, more announcements have happened, and there's going to be some more this Friday, but more talents have been added to Blizzard Brawl this coming December. It's December 4th or 3rd. It's always the first Saturday. It's the 4th, I believe. December 4th, 2021, Waukesha County Expo Center. I don't understand how we can have this much talent in the building at one time. This show, if it isn't sold out already, because I haven't talked to Dave lately, but this show is going to sell out. I might have to find a way. This has always been my life. If I really want to do something, but I don't want to pay for it, I got to find a way to work there. I got to figure out what I'm doing there. What's my job this year so I don't have to pay to come in and see this show. But Linda, who else has been announced for the big show?
Oh, gosh. Last night, we got current AEW star Rebel, not Reba.
Not Reba.
It's been announced. Yes, we have a match with, again, our former senior intern, Cal Hero.
This is his biggest match of his career.
Yes, facing current OVW National Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Spectacular Jesse Godders. That's been announced as well. And we have Deborah back on the poster here. So great to see her here in Wisconsin again as well. And, yours truly has been added on as well. I'll be a special guest referee between the women's tag match. I know it was announced last week, but it's going to be AEW star Serena Deeb and OVW star Hollywood Haley J versus Impact star ODB, and current OVW Women's Champion Sierra. And I'll be in the middle of all that. Yes.
And you're going to be reffing that. Have you gotten your license yet?
I'm working on it.
Okay. Wasn't sure if you were licensed. One other name that hadn't been announced yet, I know it was announced Friday night, but we didn't talk about it yesterday. the current Impact Heavyweight Champion of the world, Moose, will also be on the program.
Exactly. I mean, you already mentioned how stacked his card is, but also mentioned Friday was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's going to be a
Good old
special.
slat nuts.
He's going to be a special VP meet and greet guest, and of course, I wasn't sure if it was mentioned last week, but if it was not, Uncle Al will be in the house wrestling as well. Al Snow, baby.
Al Snow, Head is in the house. I mean, and Dave said he's got more announcements Friday. That's not even all of them. I don't understand it. So the only thing left is to talk to our boy Matthew. I know we'll talk to Matthew tomorrow morning. Is he flying into Appleton or flying into Milwaukee? How is he getting here, and how am I getting him to the show? That's the part we need to know.
Oh, we got to see how bad he wants to see this Houdini museum.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we might have to have him come in during the afternoon, and I'll take him on the tour with 3 other people until you do Houdini Museum.
And then you guys can make your way down to Waukesha, Wisconsin, and do a little special piece for PWR today.
Yeah, we got to do something. I mean, I know that you're reffing, so you got to, get all your counts. Do you, I guess as a referee, for this match, do you have to practice your 3 counts?
I mean, you got to do it right. So once I get my zebra stripes, I'm going to perfect my 3 count as well.
Fair enough. Well, hey, one bit of WWE news. A new episode of Broken Skull Sessions has been announced that will be launching on the Peacock. It's going to be Jeff Hardy. That's going to be right after, I think it's the week after Survivor Series. Jeff Hardy joining the Broken Skull Sessions. I'm really excited to hear this one. I want to hear Jeff's run. I mean, Jeff obviously started as a child, in wrestling along with his brother. Jeff and Matt had a great run as a lot of people either knew this and forgot or didn't know this. Did you know, Linda, that Jeff and Matt were the people who helped create the video games? They were the workers that did all the spots.
You did mention that to me before, which, yeah, I mean, that's not as known as some of the, what they're most known for, but great piece to learn about. Maybe we'll hear about that on Broken Skull Sessions.
I'm excited. I'm real excited. So Jeff Hardy on the Broken Skull Sessions coming up in November on the Peacock Network. Let's talk Raw. Raw started off with, as you predicted, and you had told us, it'll start off with a big match. It was Bianca Belair, and it was big time Bex, the boss, Becky Lynch, for the Raw Women's Championship. Your thoughts on the match as Becky Lynch retains?
Oh, I thought it was tremendous. It went almost a half hour, and I'm glad it.
How many commercial breaks did it have? Because that was what I said. 3, I think.
I'm not sure, but I'm glad it kicked off as the actual match, not face-to-face promos where we'll get that in the end, where we would have numerous backstage segments and whatnot. It went straight to it, and man, I mean, they did say this is, one of the most remembered or best championship matches ever on Raw, and honestly, it's one of the best ones I've seen for that title on Raw as of late. So I truly enjoyed it. I'm glad we finally got this tremendous one-on-one match between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair that went past 26 seconds. This is something we could have gotten at SummerSlam, but instead we got it on Raw, which is awesome to see. And I do feel this match, obviously Bianca did not win. I know Becky cheated, but hey, she is the heel. But also, it was something to really showcase. As if we didn't know how strong Bianca Belair was before, we really got.
Oh, this match was all about showcasing strength.
Absolutely.
Becky around, literally, not carried the match. She literally carried Becky.
Absolutely, and I am a fan of both ladies. I'm really digging Bianca Belair's run right now. I mean, I know she's not the champ right now currently, but it's going to happen again. She's
on a character building tour right now, is what she's doing.
Right. So I definitely enjoyed that. I thought it was a fantastic way to kick off Raw, and again, having it be the actual match to begin was a great job, I should say. I loved it.
Absolutely. The story being played out of this match was, they say, her less than ethical means of winning this. She got sent into the exposed turnbuckle, Bianca that is, and Becky used a handful of tights to roll her up for the pin. You know what? So what? That's what champions do.
Yeah. And, big time Bex, the major heel right now, and hey, that's what heels do.
And that's what heels and that's what champions do. We'll talk about what a champion did at the end of the show tonight as well, or last night as well. Rey Mysterio taking on Austin Theory. I understand Austin Theory's got to get out there. We got to have him working. But I feel just like last year, we're going to have Austin Theory against the Mysterios for 3 months.
Well, it can, there could be different variations.
So what you're saying is instead of having the blue box of macaroni and cheese, we might have shells and cheese, or we might have Kraft Deluxe, but it's still macaroni and cheese every week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Different variations, whether it be actually manually melting the butter, pouring in the milk and letting that powder melt.
Or squeezing the cheese out of a
shells. Yes. That's
right.
Easier. The deluxe with the shells are easier, I must say. Hey, this is week 2 of Austin Theory.
Week 2-ish of the Mysterios, but I feel it's going to go for a while.
Maybe it's just a way to still give Dominic one more time working with, long runs with specific stars. I mean, he's been doing his thing for.
Well, Dominic's thing right now with Rey is Dominic is costing Rey. They're costing matches. Dominic is costing them wins.
But to each other, remember briefly before the draft.
Briefly or beefly?
Briefly.
Well, Rey had gotten beefier. He got more muscle on him.
Yeah, exactly. Briefly before the draft, we had it where Rey was costing matches for Dominic, and I thought there was going to be something happening there where he was going to turn his father, but instead, they gelled back together. I meant that metaphorically, and then now we're seeing the opposite happening. So that's something to keep an eye on.
That'll never go away ever.
Rey even mentioned it, wasn't it, last week talking to Seth? He was like,
"Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on you." Is what he was. He was dropping puns.
Yeah.
All right, winner by disqualification because Dominic cost him the match. Austin Theory. Austin taking long distance selfies now, which I guess, I mean, he's got to get the selfie in, but both competitors were conscious, so that way you couldn't get a close up.
Yeah, he got it though.
Seth Rollins coming out to a ton of pyro. Looks like the jacket he's wearing last night looked like the jacket they wear on Walking Dead World Beyond, where the kid says, "I wear this corduroy because it protects me from the dead." Like it had extra layers. It was just a weird looking jacket. I like the ones with bigger color, honestly.
Okay. Something to look forward to every week. See what Seth says on.
Yeah, here's what we have going on here. It was Rollins coming out talking about how he wants a piece of Big E. Big E says that he won the contract. Kevin Owens came out and says he's going to prove himself by taking on Big E. So we set up a main event match with Big E and Kevin Owens. And Rollins later on, I'm spoiling and going ahead, but Rollins later on says, "You know what, Kev? How about we do a scratch each other on the back? You help me by winning, and I'll help you by giving you a title shot." And it's one of those things where the face doesn't want the heel to interfere, but, it's going to end up happening anyways. Hey, here's a team we haven't seen in a while. The women's WWE Tag Team Champions. Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley taking on Carmella and Queen Zelina Vega. We didn't get enough Queen last night. I thought we needed more Queen action. She just had the crown, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, looks like her and Carmella are going to be in this tag team for a bit. I mean, they did win that women's tag team championship contenders match. See, I got that right. So, well, I do like the two of them together. I think they play off each other well. And hey, they got that victory last night over the current tag team champions as well. So, I think they can still keep with this. They feed off each other well. I mean, Selena's still getting to show, her crown and how she's queen, and she's got that.
Yeah, and I think that's going to push towards Survivor Series. I really do. Mm-hmm. However, let me ask you this: that Code Red that Vega does, that looks kind of like the Canadian Destroyer, right? A little bit.
Well, yeah.
Have you heard the news that P.D. Williams had a tryout with WWE?
No, I didn't know.
Do they bring him in as a wrestler, or do they bring him in as somebody to teach everybody how to do the Destroyer the correct way? I mean, instead of, having everybody do their own variations, you bring Petey in to show them how to do the move.
Yeah, and then you keep that name versus calling. I mean, I know Selena's Code Red, but
right. Just throwing that out there. I thought it was kind of funny. It was something I wanted to drop in there. Uh, Chad Gable takes on Finn Balor. Did you know that Chad Gable, and he mentioned it, got his degree from Full Sail University? He has a master's now. Chad Gable does. So I love these type of stories. Xavier Woods, by the way, has a doctorate. I don't know what field he's in, but Xavier Woods is actually a doctor.
Yes. Not just a king, but a doctor, huh?
Dr. King Woods. Finn Balor, Chad Gable. Chad was going to show Finn that he's going to take him to school. Nice little pun, but the winner of the match, Finn Balor.
Yeah. Otis was also on ringside. He really doesn't get much to say, so I feel
they called him the Thumb.
walking thumb. I know, but yeah, I mean, we did get Chad Gable in the match instead of Otis, but he's definitely been silent. I'm waiting for a short amount of time for him to just explode, and either whether it be on his opponent or on Chad Gable.
Well, let's say this: what if Chad Gable were to move on? Because there has been talk that Chad Gable, and again, we didn't bring it up because it wasn't that big of news, but we're talking about him now. Chad Gable may be on his way out soon. So specifically, now that he's done with class at Full Sail, what if Chad Gable would leave the company? What happens with Otis? Does Otis go back to being
I hope so. I definitely enjoyed that Otis, but where did they just drafted to Raw? Like
they were drafted, but contractually, what if Chad Gable were to be done?
Good point.
Okay, Street Profits taking on the Dirty Dogs, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, otherwise known as Big Bob, the glorious Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Omos comes out to wreak havoc during this match again, but it does not cost Ziggler and Roode as they pick up the pinfall victory on the Street Profits. Now, Riddle had the crowd rocking. They're chanting Randy. Riddle was on the headphones chanting Randy. Dude, I feel bad for the ones that were in the ring because they're just looking at Riddle going, Randy, Randy.
Yeah, he's definitely a fan favorite.
Riddle's a hype man right now. He's amazing.
Yeah, even his excitement during that tag match. Right?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But he didn't heed Randy's words, and he went after Omos, and Omos destroyed him. So really weird cut off of that because like Randy's going after him. Let's go to a video package. That threw me off.
They didn't go back to them, did they?
No, they never did. Because they lit up Omos with the ring lights. And I'm like, okay, what, video package? Oh, come on, you got to go back. Oh, they're not going back. Here's what they were going to, though. They went to a video package of seeing Damian Priest flip. We talked about it last week, remember? After he got hit by that chair where the guy, Dominic Dijakovic, T-Bar, chucked Graves' chair at him. He kind of flipped. And that led us into the opening for Damian Priest, where it looks like Damian Priest might have two sides to him, split personality. You're going to get to see the Damian inside of me, which was a very cool line. We know a Damian, but that's not the Damian inside of Damian Priest. No DQ match. Damian Priest taking on T-Bar, and this went as well as I thought. I thought T-Bar really beat on him, but once he got him tied up into the ropes and started laying in those candlesticks to the point where the candlestick exploded, Damian Priest exploded, and then when Damian Priest threw T-Bar into the table, that thing exploded. That was probably the coolest table spot I've seen in a while.
All right. I think it was even Jimmy Smith that said, I've never seen a table explode.
Right. That was cool.
Dude, this match. So, I mean, I enjoyed their match last week and then, the aftermath of that. Glad we were getting another match this week because we felt, you and I discussed, that this isn't going to be the end of Damian Priest and T-Bar, alone getting a no holds barred match or no DQ.
No DQ, yeah.
But still, they did their thing. I mean, they're both big men.
They're both big. I mean, they kept telling us T-Bar is about 6'7".
But just he rotates very well by those lariats and just the tosses into the barricade and whatnot. But yeah, the use of the weapons. This was again. I raved about how great that women's championship match was to kick off Raw, but this one was, to me as well, it was a pay-per-view worthy match. I did not expect that on Raw last night. I mean, who would have thunk, when Dominic Dijakovic or T-Bar was with Retribution that he'd be getting this spot like this. But I just, he lost the match again. Okay. However, I was hoping there could possibly be more with the two of them. However, and I might be taking, what you were going to say next, but we had Apollo Crews come out after the match, and I was like, no, because I wanted more T-Bar and Damian Priest. I want more.
Well, maybe they mix it up, but yes, it's now time for Apollo Crews to get into the mix with something. He's got Commander Aziz. So the only thing I didn't like is if they're going to take away the Archer infamy part, find a way to mix those two together. That's all.
Yeah, I was hoping to hear that music. I don't mind the new one. We know Damian Priest is a metalhead as well, so I did like the music. However, I do miss the Archer infamy stuff. I loved that music, and I guess they could have. I mean, yeah, I get if they're changing it. I get it,
and that's okay. I don't hate it. Like I said, It's the only thing I missed.
And
Big time Bex.
His new look too. It works.
Big time Bex is backstage, and when they were talking about Bianca, she literally said, "You know what? I'm done with her. She needs to go to the back of the line and let somebody new walk up. I live, Morgan." And Becky goes, meh, and just left. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and with Liv Morgan, she is becoming more and more of a fan favorite. It's nice to see her get.
It's about time.
Right. And also, how about Big Time Bex and that Elton John tire?
Hold me closer, Big Time Bex.
Yeah.
Hold me closer, Big Time Bex.
Yeah, she looked great.
Big E and Kevin Owens to finish the night. Seth Rollins hits Big E with the contract that he's carrying around, which is, like a poor man's Money in the Bank. It's just a clipboard, but it works and it's a gimmick, so that's fine. Kevin Owens morally didn't want to take advantage of it, went to it anyways, got a 2 count, rolled up, Big E with the 3 count. Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens for next week. Again, that's something we've been clamoring about. Why are they not announcing matches ahead of time? There we go. We got another big match. Big E wasn't trying to hear it, and he put on the what's Big E's move again? I forgot what it's called. The big ending?
Big ending.
Yeah. So big ending for KO. You know what? KO's just got to take it and move on.
Yeah. Yeah. We still have a couple of weeks to build up Survivor Series, and how, I guess technically Seth Rollins can use, or I don't want to say cash in, but turn in the
return, sign, fax, FedEx.
Yeah, so that can be done anytime, right? That can be.
I think he's just holding it, and I think that Sonya Deville or Scrap Daddy, when his little Scrap Daddy's bandage comes off, can come back in and tell him when the match is.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I wasn't really sure if I missed that. I'm like, is this supposed to be a Survivor Series? Are we waiting for it to happen?
Nothing's official.
All right, but like I said,
his little Scrap Daddy in the bandage.
$1 million.
Yep. But hey, that was Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can say about it. I didn't hate it. It was Raw. Raw was 3 hours, and there's always room for improvement. But you know what? I stayed awake most of the time, if that's a positive.
Yeah, I raved about 2 great matches that I very pleasantly surprised to see that take place on an episode of Monday Night Raw.
I didn't have to take any pain medication during it. So, there's that.
Always finding a silver lining.
I'm trying to, like I said, I want to be positive about it, right?
Yes, that's
all right. Tomorrow we're going to talk to Matthew Thomas. Linda, have fun at Great Lakes Championship Wrestling in Merrill, Wisconsin this weekend. Folks, this Friday, make sure you're following Dave Hero on Facebook and on the Twitter machine. I think he's probably on Instagram too. I don't know. People our age, we have those things, but I don't use mine as often. So.
Well, this Friday is a big day. Not only are we having the return of Rhino and Merrill, but those other round of announcements for
I think it's the final round, actually, too.
Yeah, for Blizzard Brawl. So, yeah, we've got a lot coming up. As always, blizzardbrawl.com for all the info.
Tickets are still available, but very few are left.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So for Linda Kay, the man they call Meathead, hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.